Hi, I'm Wes Allen with DM Tales, and today I'm going to be looking at the Ninth World Bestiary for Numenera. Let's roll it. So I have become rather smitten with Monte Cook Games' cipher system, in particular Numenera, which is what my current in-person game is running, and I have loved running this game so far. And this got me into wanting to check out some of the other books for Numenera that I do not have yet, and that led me to the Ninth World Bestiary. One of the things about Numenera is that the world is about 1 billion years in the future. Nothing that we know of that exists nowadays is still around. Evolution has changed things dramatically. And so you have to make things weird. And the Ninth World Bestiary really helps with that. Let's take a look. Now, I do want to point out that the Ninth World Bestiary is more than just a monster book. The monsters are front and center, to be sure, but there's more to it than just that. See, Cipher System, which began with Numenera and the Ninth World, is designed to be easy to prep, and that includes what it takes to make monsters yourself. And that's why the Ninth World Bestiary actually opens with a couple of essays, which run from page 6 all the way up until about page 16. This covers everything from a creature's stat blocks, that includes their health, their damage inflicted, armor, their movement, all that sort of thing. It also gives advice on how to understand how a creature's stats will work within the mechanics of the game, so you can figure out, well, how many rounds of combat should I expect this creature to survive? But it also has really good advice on how to make creatures both unique and dangerous to match the setting of the Ninth World. And Monte Cook Games books have a number of essays like this, and I have to say, I am a fan. So those first 16 pages, they're really worthwhile. I advise if you ever get this book in hand, do not skip over them. The creature listing really gets underway at about page 16, where it lists all the stats found in the creature's stat blocks. And some of these stats will not appear if it doesn't apply, like armor. Creatures unarmored, it's not going to say armor 0, it's just not going to have that listing there. Page 17 actually lists all the creatures by level, 1 all the way up to 10, and then pages 18 through 19 list some random encounter tables for different environments. And this just makes my old soul happy. I get taken right back to Monte Cook Basic and Expert, and I have my random encounters. If you're going through a desert, I can roll this, and here's what shows up. That's really cool. Page 20 is where the bestiary of creatures actually starts, goes all the way to page 138. They are glorious, glorious creatures. Really cool artwork for most of them, including a size comparison with a human using different silhouettes. Each of the creature listings is going to open with a decent paragraph or two on the creature, and then it's going to move to stats, which are clear. But inside the creature listings, the combat area really shines because it explains not just attacks, but the behavior in combat as well. I love this about Cipher System and Numenera. Also, it's going to have a significant section for each creature listing for interaction, which is going to give some short guidance on what sorts of interactions would be helpful for the player characters to attempt or for the GM to apply into an encounter. If people are trying to bribe something that just wants to eat them, well, that's not going to work out. And the interaction is going to point that out to them. This book is a lot of fun to read. The creatures are really, really weird. And as I moved through it, I was struck by the number of creatures I was flagging as need to challenge the party with this. Just left and right. Oh yeah, that's coming in, that's coming in, that's coming in. And I used 2 of these in my last session of Numenera. The first was the Blitzer, which you can find on page 25, which, as people pointed out at the table, is basically Bane from Batman mixed with the Hulk. All rage, no reason. The more they rage, the stronger they get. And then the other one that I used was the Memora, which you can find on page 83. This is a creature which eats beings so they may steal their identities. And they have a condiment which they use that helps them do it, which is just really, really freaky. I actually used a Memora to explain why one of the PC's relatives changed her whole personality. And that freaked people out. Wait a minute, this isn't my aunt? This is this creature? And it made the PC really angry. It was absolutely wild. So the creatures in this book are so cool, and they add a lot of flavor to the Ninth World. The book ends with two different sections. The first is a few notable NPC types that goes from page 139 to 141, and that should give some good scaffolding for GMs to make their own notable characters. And then you have a list of people of renown that goes from page 142 to 158. These are folks to throw at the party as patrons or as obstacles, or maybe distant threats impacting the world around them in a way that they aren't quite cognizant of at the time. The way Numenera's creature listings work means these characters breathe. Their motivations are spelled out. Their backgrounds are explored. The danger they pose to the characters, it's clear. It really is a terrific way to end the book. This is the best bestiary I've ever read. The essay on making creatures for Numenera, that's really well done. And I'd actually like to see more on the ecology of the Ninth World. But still, there's a little bit in there that's actually okay. I just want to see more of that. The included creatures were wild and weird, and as I encountered them, they immediately changed how my table was going to unfold. To me, that's the sign of a really good monster book. The artwork is beautiful, and the layout bears the Monte Cook Games signature design with really cool colors, crisp layout, great fonts for the body and for the headings, and also the cool margin notes. I am a huge fan of Monte Cook's design language. This shows it off really well. On the other hand, I do want to see the Ninth World Bestiary updated to tie into the current core rulebooks, because there are references to the main rules that are linked to the previous Numenera core rulebook, and that means the cross-references for those are currently meaningless. So I would like to see this revised and re-released, but even without it being revised, it is terrific and a great resource for any cipher system table, not just one using Numenera. You can get the book at Monte Cook Games website. It is $39.99 for the hardback or $44.49 for a combo hardback book and PDF. If you want to get the PDF by itself, that will cost you $14.99. Really worth a pickup if you're interested in running Numenera or any cipher system game. There's a lot of weird stuff, and it's really well done. Coming up, I have got my review of the Dragonbane Bestiary that is all slated and ready to be written. Shadowdark is still being read. I am reading Monte Cook Games' The Origin at the moment, and this is a fantastic game. Plus, Godforsaken is sitting on my shelf, which I got from Monte Cook Games as a review copy. That's been read. I need to write the review for that as well. There's a lot going on. But the biggest thing for me right now is if you are in the South Jersey or Philadelphia area, come on out April 12 through 14 for ECCLESICON, where we will roll lots of dice and play really cool games and just have a wonderful time. And we're raising money for my church's roof replacement project and also for the food pantry down the street. Proceeds are being split 50-50. So come on out to Palmyra, New Jersey, April 12th through 14th. Roll some dice and do some good. Until we see each other again, folks, happy playing, everyone.